Welcome to Football's Play to Win, the fastest 45 minutes on TV.
Today's show is being brought to you by Ford, Mellow Mushroom, and Georgia Lottery. Today's Hometown Team Report is brought to you by Mellow Mushroom Pizza Bakers, a higher order of pizza for your tailgating events.
All right, welcome to the show. We have an all-pro cast with us today, joined by Jamal Anderson.
Pleasure to be with you.
The runner, the star.
Yep.
You guys made him into a star.
The bird.
Bob
You made him
Whitfield,
into a
Nikki,
star.
Chuck Smith, of
The
course.
blocker, the legendary cheerleader.
Legendary.
Who are you, Chuck?
Yeah. What is your role?
I am their defensive nemesis in practice. Basically, I was the bully to these two young
Made him good. Made him good.
Oh, we hazed Jamal. He came in. We just, I ain't gonna say what we did back in the day, but me and Bob,
Made it rough on
we
you?
broke in this room. Dan Reeves gave us the key.
Bob, if there was a reason I ran the ball very tough late in the games, it was because of our defense. Thank you so much, Chuck.
What a blessing. You're such a blessing.
All right, we're going to start, despite we have an all-pro cast here, we're going to start talking college and Kirby Smart. And one of the questions I have for you, I want to start with you, Bob Whitfield, is Georgia seems to be playing with a lot of intensity. Is that because of Kirby?
Oh yeah, Kirby brings it. He learned it from Nick Saban.
Yeah.
And what you got is that Alabama-esque mentality of be tough on those players. Don't give them a little edge, a little room to breathe. And what he is on Jake Fromm, he is tight on him. That rookie quarterback, freshman guy, making mistakes early in the game. Coach don't like that, buddy. So he keeps that team tight. Tight clenched fist.
Even when they're up by 11 billion.
Yeah. Oh yeah, don't matter.
But think about this. Think about this element. You go away, you have tremendous success. That's his alma mater. So there's a tremendous amount of excitement when he comes back to the University of Georgia, and then everybody's expecting success because of all the talent and the amount of players that Georgia, as we talked about a week ago, has put in the NFL. So that intensity from Saban, also being back home, and that added.
That's a good way to put it. Brings the atmosphere to Georgia. And Georgia always, of course, considered one of the great teams, but having a little bit of that Alabama twist in there doesn't hurt anything.
Right.
Well, Saban never hurt nobody.
Yeah, except the other teams that play.
Exactly.
Right.
All right, the Falcons had a bye week last week. Now we're moving into the next part of the season. Chuck, what do you think?
But I think where the Falcons are right now, they've only been out 4 games. This isn't a team right now that's on vacation. They're not chilling in Hawaii. This team only played 4 games. They're getting their head right. Guys are getting, injured, getting back from being injured and everything. So I think the Falcons are right where they need to be, ready to have a great kickoff to the second part of their season.
Okay, you guys have done such a great job. We have a treat for you on the first segment. We have Mellow Mushroom, one of our great sponsors here today, and they've brought Mellow Mushroom.
Come on in, bring
Here we go.
To the show. Bring it on in.
How are you?
Sit it down right here. Everybody have a look at this. Look at that.
Yeah.
There's the Chuck. You said you had your eye on that,
pretty to
that
eat.
salad.
Look at that.
The toppings.
Beautiful.
Here's the Mellow Mushroom
look
Pizza
at that.
Bakers
at that.
refreshments. And
Iced tea.
Mellow Mushroom is, of course, the pizza sponsor for our show. We're glad to have them with us as usual. Thank you, Ruby, for being here today.
Absolutely. We're super excited. We've got a new catering program. We have some healthy options. We have our pizza, of course, but we have also some sandwiches now, very flavorful and always as healthy. So,
Okay, I
thank
like
y'all
it.
so much.
Except I see
great.
the pizza sitting right over there. That's what I have my eyes on. We're going to finish this up as fast as we can, and we'll be back with more of Football's Play to Win.
Do you suffer from irritability, boredom, and chronic cravings? Mellow Mushroom's craft pizza, beer, and cocktails are clinically proven to improve your mood and leave you with a full belly. Mellow Mushroom is fast-acting, giving you relief when you need it the most. Side effects of Mellow Mushroom may include salivation, euphoria, and an insatiable craving for more Mellow Mushroom. Ask your doctor about Mellow Mushroom. She may want to come with you.
They're here.
Kevin, you heard the man.
Make your getaway. Win up to $100,000 over 300 times a day playing Keno.
The 2017 Nissan Rogue. With available automatic emergency braking, the
could help stop for you. And motion-activated liftgate. You still got some tricks left in you. Take on today the Nissan Rogue family. Lease today, starting at just $159 per month, or save up to $10,760 on select models.
Today's NFL Report is brought to you by Nally Ford Sandy Springs. The car you want, the name you trust. It has to be Nally Ford Sandy Springs.
Time for our NFL report. This week we're talking about the state of quarterbacks in the league. Let's start with that Pittsburgh-Kansas City game.
Well, first and foremost, it starts with the mind of Ben Roethlisberger. To me, he seems to be tapped out or mentally challenged when it comes to what really happens in the locker room. It's a brotherhood, you know, and it's something that you got to count on each guy on that team. And when you lose your quarterback mentally, I mean, it sends shockwaves down your team. So I know why Antonio Brown was acting up. We're just finally finding out what the real reason was, and it really was Ben Roethlisberger.
All right, what's about the Lions and Saints?
Well, we have a highest paid quarterback, and then we have a seasoned vet. And what you got in Drew Brees at the Saints, he's going to keep that offense going. He's been perfect the last few weeks, and he's actually no interceptions on the year. So he's been dominant there. And Matthew Stafford, even though he's been up and down the last 2 weeks, he does consistently move that offense with not much running game. So those guys are anchors for their squads.
How about New England and the Jets, Nikki?
How about the couple of fossils battling it out for the AFC East? I mean, they are old. Josh McCown, 15 years in the NFL, and he's finally going to have a quarterback matchup with an older quarterback. Great news. Bad news, it's Tom Brady. So even though his shoulder is a little bit banged up, he's missed a couple of practices this week. He's going to be back Sunday. They're both being very respectful because, you know what, that's what the old dudes do. Someone's going to walk away first place in the AFC.
That's how we do it, old dudes.
That's right. We all understand.
It would be very interesting, going back to your first thing, to see what happens with Pittsburgh and Kansas City, because Kansas City had a problem, and remember they lost last year in the playoffs, so it's personal. And Roethlisberger's made conflicting statements this week, so it'll be interesting to see what Pittsburgh team shows up.
How about some other quarterbacks?
Well, you got the Eli's, that my favorite, Eli Manning with the Giants, you know, and Eli's been troubled, and Odell Beckham is gone. So it's one of those things that Giants, they might suffer the next few weeks. And Eli, he's an old vet, cagey vet. He still throws that wobbler, but a good receiver will catch it.
But I don't really think it's Eli, personally. I think it's the offensive line. When you look at this team, you can't throw the ball. I mean, you can't throw the ball if you get no protection. Right. So when you look at the Giants, they only have a running game. I mean, when you think about the Giants, it's a struggle right now. The struggle is real for the Giants.
Bob Whitfield will attest to this. It starts up front, right?
Definitely starts up front.
Exactly. I thought you'd agree with that. Jamal, Jeffrey's not with us, but Jamal is playing a role of Jeffrey.
Yeah, and Jeffrey's picks this week, but he's not here. I'm going to take Kansas City, 4.5 over Pittsburgh. You know, I just think Kansas City's the way they've been playing. Detroit +5 over New Orleans. I mean, it's obvious. Matt Stafford in the numbers. New England, 9.5 over the Jets. Yeah. The Jets have been winning, but come on, it's Tom Brady. It's the Patriots. All right.
This is very good. All right.
Woody is from Utah.
No,
Jeffrey may never miss another game.
No, Jeffrey's the best, man. I'm just trying to be whatever I could do.
That's the edge.
Jamal the edge. By the way, and in order to be imitated like that, you got to be really good, right?
Very good. Very good.
Excellent
I mean, so what is it? Jeffrey's like up in the 60%, right?
Yeah. Jeffrey studies this, and he also has another job, including this show, but mainly
as a gangster.
He's a gangster. Nobody knows this.
You are missed, Jeffrey. You are missed.
Is a gangster. This is what happens, Jeffrey, when you're not on the show with us. So that's Football's Play to Win as we replace Jeffrey this week. Jamal Anderson has done a great job with that. We'll be back. We have a lot more to go on the show, Football Play to Win. You stay with us right now.
I'm talking tough, like a state of mind. Tough, like a soldier on the front line. Tough when it gets rough, like my Ford truck. Always enough, I'm talking tough.
Hurry into Nally Ford and get 0% APR for 72 months on 2016 F-150 XLT. Plus over $4,000 in bonus cash.
Hey y'all, we're Low Cash and we love Nally Ford and NallyFord.com. It has to be Nally Ford Sandy Springs.
If you or a loved one has been seriously injured in an accident, don't drop the ball by letting the insurance company run all over you. I worked as an insurance lawyer for 10 years and I know their tactics and game plan. I'm Roger Orlando of the Orlando firm. Let our 30 years of experience tackle the insurance company for you. Our team will get you every dollar you deserve. So put the ball in our hands and we'll get your case across the goal line. Find us online at atlanta.law or call 678-LAW-FIRM.
At Longhorn, step into wood, stone, steak. Don't prepare a meal for yourself. Prepare yourself for a meal. Feast on one of Longhorn's steakhouse cuts, 12-ounce New York strip, center-cut Flo's filet, for a limited time, 14-ounce Delmonico. The feeling, the flavor, the place. Longhorn Steakhouse. You can't fake steak.
Today's NFL Fantasy Report is being brought to you by Haviland Express Lube, driven to perform, so our customers and their vehicles can too.
Time to talk fantasy football now with Adam Brown, Chuck Smith, and we have to negotiate some bye weeks.
We do. So, guys, we got 4 teams on bye. We got Buffalo, Cincinnati, Dallas, and Seattle. Lots of big firepower there.
Yep.
So let's get started from the replacements for those guys with the quarterbacks, and let's go with Deshaun Watson, Jacoby Brissett first.
Well, you know Deshaun Watson. Now, you've been watching Deshaun Watson making money right now out there in Houston, so I know he's real high on your list right now. And probably all the guys that you play in your fantasy leagues with.
So, like 9 touchdown passes the past 2 weeks for Deshaun Watson, and Jacoby Brissett is coming off a 300-yard passing game.
What do you think about Jacoby? I mean, nice replacement. Andrew Luck, I mean, how long is he going to be out for? What's the deal?
Well, Andrew Luck's not back yet, but the thing is about Andrew Luck is it doesn't matter because Jacoby Brissett was traded for from New England to Indianapolis as a starter, and he has T.Y. Hilton still, he has Frank Gore, he has all these guys that can really be a factor for him, and they're taking the pressure off of him. Now, we got Jerick McKinnon and we got James White. I like Jerick McKinnon as a fill-in, doing a great job for the Minnesota Vikings. And he had a good week last week. But this is the guy I want to talk about, James White, because he can catch the ball in the backfield. He had 17 catches the last 2 weeks.
He's got some skills now.
He does.
And Tom Brady's his quarterback. Can't go wrong with that.
Right, absolutely. Now we want to do the wide receivers, and we're going to talk about Tom Brady's #1 receiver right now, and that's Chris Hogan. He's having touchdowns in 4 straight games.
That's baller style. Gronk's been a little suspect this year.
Yeah, he's been injured, so the only one healthy really has been Chris Hogan. He stepped up as the #1 receiver. And we see Taylor Gabriel. Taylor Gabriel's an interesting player because Sanu's hurt, and so is Jones. So Gabriel might get a lot of playing time this week and a lot of touches.
And Miami's been a little suspect on the defensive end, just saying.
All right, quickly, let's go to the tight ends because we have Evan Ingram. Who has no receivers around him because everybody's hurt. So Eli Manning, meet your friend Evan Ingram this week. And Kobe Fleener against Detroit. I like to have a good week at home this week.
I don't care who Drew Brees is throwing to, he's money.
He's always money. Chuck loves him. Now we're talking about the defenses, Chuck's bread and butter. We have the Ravens defense and the Falcons defense, who I love this week. Why don't you talk to me about the Ravens defense?
I'm going to tell you this, since we're talking with those hands, I don't believe the Ravens defense has shown me enough right now to really even go to them right now. But I'm going to tell you this, I like the Falcons at the Dome. Plus, I'm going to be there with my family, so maybe be a little good luck Smith magic in there. So I'll see you at the Dome.
All right, so funny thing real quick. Cutler, 10 sacks. Been sacked 10 times, 4 picks, 1 fumble, and a big L in Atlanta.
Yeah, Cutler. Not sure about that. Okay, we're going to come back in just a moment with the Dog Report. Stay with us as we continue with Football's Play to Win.
Who do you trust to change your oil? I'm consumer investigator Dale Cardwell. This is really my car, and Haviland Express Lube is who I truly trust. They're professional, priced to beat the competition, and really, really fast.
Hey football fans, don't take chances by driving with worn-out wiper blades. Pull into Haviland Express Loop Monday through Thursday, mention Football's Play to Win, and get a free pair of wiper blades with the purchase of an oil change.
To see our real research and find the location nearest you, visit trustdale.com/Haviland.
We are the blood, sweat, and tears of fierce ambition. We are fueled by the impossible, an inner drive that can't be contained. We are the Georgia Bulldogs. So shout, go Dogs, and let the game begin. Here's to building champions. Now get $10,800 in total savings on the 2017 F-150. See your local Ford dealer today.
Today on Football's Play to Win, we'll discuss Georgia's well-fit running back, preview Tech and Miami, and ask why the Falcons' offense is struggling. It's the fastest 45 minutes on television. Welcome to Football's Play to Win.
Today's show is being brought to you by This Is It Barbecue, Haviland Express Lube, and Nellie Ford Sandy Springs. Welcome to Football's Play to Win with Falcons All-Pro defensive end Chuck Smith, Falcons All-Pro offensive tackle Bob Whitfield, Fantasy Football League Master Adam Brown, Game Analysis with Nikki Williams, Play to Win expert Jeffrey the Ed Schechter, Medical and Injury Update with Dr. Andrew Lalage, and your host, Atlanta sports legend Bob Neal. Today's University of Georgia report is being brought to you by This Is It Barbecue and Seafood, home of Atlanta's original rib tips.
All right, welcome back to the show, and Jamal Anderson is with us here. We've got a pretty darn good NFL football team here, including you.
The runner.
No kidding. We got the runner, the blocker, the defensive playmaker,
Surely.
the whole
The
thing
team.
going here today, and of course the I don't know, general manager.
Coach.
GM. No, he's GM. GM.
Yeah, GM. I take
can coach it, Nick.
GMs last longer.
That's right.
Yes.
GMs fire the coach
How about that?
Facts.
That's true.
and trade the players, so look sharp.
Okay, sorry.
I'm on the phone
Let
every
me
day
shape
after
up, let me shape up.
when the show's over. I'm on the phone looking for deals out there. All right, we're going to talk about Chubb and Michelle and Georgia running backs. Georgia running backs are famous or infamous, if you're not a Georgia fan, always a good team for running backs. How are they right now, Nikki?
How good are they, or how great are they right
Great's the
now?
word.
I mean, Nick Chubb is leading the SEC. He's the SEC's leading rusher. You've got these guys that come along once in a lifetime. So I tell you as dog fans to soak this up, because it's not something that you see that often. If you look at these two statistically, though, their numbers would be even higher if they were getting more playing time. They seem to be fine where they are right now. But, Chubb isn't in talks for the Heisman because of the numbers.
Yeah, my counterpoint to that, Nikki, would be, listen, if I'm talking to Nick Chubb and Sonny Michel, and I have them sitting down, I'm like, guys, the best thing for your career right now is the way that they're doing it. You're both getting an opportunity to shine. You're both exceptional players making plays, and neither one of you are taking the constant wear and tear that it would be if you were a feature back. Listen, I'm not an advocate of the back by committee unless it's this particular system. Because believe me, I didn't necessarily want to share carries with other people either.
No, I know you would.
It's a nightmare for defensive players, though.
A nightmare.
It'll wear you down.
Which is, and when you think about those two, imagine the fact that, oh, by the way, Todd Gurley was there with them in the beginning.
Yeah.
Todd Gurley's
like
tweeting
frightening.
about him. He tweeted both of them the other day.
They
He
were
said, unstoppable.
Don't forget
That's a good
Swift
point.
and Elijah Holyfield.
But
You know, the guys that come off the bench.
Exactly.
The next generation.
How about the quarterbacks, Bob Whitfield?
You know what I'm saying? Jake Fromm. I talk about
Quarterbacks,
Jake Fromm
plural.
all the time. And with Jake Fromm, I said he benefits from those running backs because they keep his game plan kind of mediocre, as I see it, is that he got some simple routes to hit early on and a lot of play action, so that if you look at him since the Notre Dame game, he's not even completing over 10 passes. So
Being able to run the ball cures a lot of ills.
Especially for young quarterbacks. And it's like the perfect storm for Georgia. Defensively, they're playing the way they're supposed to play. They're attacking. They can run the ball. And guess what? It takes a lot of pressure off young quarterbacks.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's a nice diaper to wear.
Well,
The,
he's winning games.
Michelle diaper.
I like his energy, and I like his energy for that team.
Okay, let's go over to the athletic players on the other side of the ball, the DBs.
Well, I think right now, Bob, when you talk about defensive backs, Georgia's, they've really stepped up. And one of the most important aspects this year of the defensive backfield is that Georgia, they're aggressive in the secondary. And this was a big conversation before the season about this young defensive backfield. So I think one of the big reasons they've done really well is J.R. Reed, son of former NFL great, Minnesota great Jake Reed. Yep. He's really solidified this team at cornerback, and they've done a really great job just competing. I'm going to tell you one thing they do. They don't make many errors. They communicate well in the secondary, and they do a good job always being in the right position.
They're going to need that communication. I know that because Missouri stretched the field at receiver. And if you watch those Missouri receivers last week, Oh, they was plays of 78 yards.
Stop that. I need you to stop that.
I'm just saying.
I need you to stop acting like Missouri got a team, like they some ballers.
He did that about
It is a fact that Missouri is 26th in passing offense nationally, and it's interesting that you mentioned Reed. No, I'm just saying they do have the ability to throw the ball. They do have a quarterback that likes to throw deep. I'm not saying that they're about to beat Georgia. Those words aren't coming out of my mouth.
I need y'all to not be saying that Missouri has any. Man, who they've been playing against? If you go look at Missouri stats versus the team they threw against, they are sisters of the poor. I'm saying that right.
I'm going to break this up and get you to make a
stop
pick.
that.
Just stop it. Make your pick.
I'm picking Georgia.
They're a running team at best.
Yeah?
What do you mean?
Who are you picking?
Georgia?
Yeah. Duh. Duh.
Oh, Georgia. Oh, man, wait.
I'm picking Georgia, but Jeffrey's
picking Missouri. I'm sorry. Jeffrey's picking Missouri.
But you're picking Georgia.
I am definitely picking Georgia.
All right, there you go. We got them both going for you. You just got to pick which one you want. We'll be back with more Football Play to Win right after this.
All right, time to put the cookies out for Santa. I forgot to put them in there. Oh no! Idea. What about that? Yeah. What? Santa will love some. This is it. Promise you. Good for his tummy, right?
Ah. Ho, ho, ho. It's the Red Tits!
We are the TV doctors of America, and we may not know much about medicine, but we know a lot about drama.
From scandalous romance
to ridiculous plot twists.
Son?
Dad. We also know you can avoid drama by getting an annual checkup.
So we're partnering with Cigna to remind you to go see a real doctor.
Go, know, and take control of your health. It could save your life. Doctor poses. Dad.
Cigna, together, all the way.
Right here, Dad.
The Infiniti QX60. Impressive performance and seating for 7. Lease the Infiniti QX60 for $399 a month or finance at 1.9% APR at your Atlanta area Infiniti retailer.
Today's SEC College Report is being brought to you by the Southeast Nissan dealers. Choose Nissan.com.
Welcome back. Don't forget to go to the Play to Win website and enter the Ippolito's You Be the Expert contest. This season, be sure to visit our website, playingtowin.tv, and take a shot to be #1 against all the competition by picking this week's college and NFL winners against the spread. We'll be giving away Ippolito's $150 gift certificates to each week's first and second place winners. So make sure you come back every week and prove your football IQ by being the best at predicting this week's college and NFL games. Ippolito's, a great neighborhood Italian restaurant. All right, welcome back to the show. By the way, there's a big game today.
Yep, excited about my 12-year-old Mill Creek Hawks. I'm a D coordinator.
You're on the hot seat, though. You're on the hot seat.
Oh, boy.
Big up to all the kids.
Seat is burning.
Big up. We play Brookwood today, so, 12-year-old ball. Just trying to, coach them up, teach them some fundamentals.
Take my microphone in there after the game and interview about what decisions you made.
Nothing like coaching the kids, though.
That's right.
Oh, nothing like it. Now let's go to the AP Top 25. And as you take a look at where Alabama is at the top, of course, Georgia at number 4.
Lord to the yes, yes.
What's that about?
Yeah, Stanford's back. There it is, Bryce Love.
Stanford where?
23.
Yeah, Michigan's in there too. We've all got somebody in there somewhere.
Where Tennessee at?
Georgia.
All right, we're going to talk.
Utah's 23.
Let's talk about a big game now. Auburn, LSU. Chuck Smith.
Well, I think Auburn right now has kind of found got into a little rhythm. I know the Tigers have been trying to get back to where they need to be, and it starts with Jarrett Stidham at quarterback. He's finally stepping up, kind of getting into his rhythm a little bit. He's the key for this Auburn team, but again, y'all know my guy, Arden Key, he's got a bitch again. My bad.
You know what we got to do with this LSU, man? We got to start Carry On Johnson. That's what we got to do. Carry On Johnson. LSU. Stop.
Today's Showdown of the Week is being brought to you by the Georgia Lottery, where every jackpot is a good jackpot.
Georgia Tech has Miami today.
What a huge game. I mean, Miami's just coming off the emotional victory of beating Florida State, the one that everybody talked about. But guess who had a week off last week? Georgia Tech. Guess who they were preparing for all week and watching? Miami. Guess who needs to be super disciplined, as Chuck Smith can tell you, if you're going to be able to stop Georgia Tech and that attack with Marshall. I mean, and that's all Miami.
Yeah, you got to take care of your space, and that means wherever Georgia Tech runs, everybody's going to be responsible for an area. It's really important. You got to be really disciplined when you're playing against Georgia Tech. But I'll tell you one thing that Miami has going for them: the defense has been phenomenal. Penetration is what beats the triple option offense, and I think Miami has the opportunity to do that. But offensively, I'm going to tell you, Miami, they're really streaky, Bob. They're really streaky, Jam. And what's going to happen here, Georgia Tech's had the last 3 games, Georgia Tech has played great. So I think Georgia Tech has a pretty good chance, but this Miami has a lot of athletes, and Georgia Tech.
Georgia Tech hasn't played a Miami yet, Chuck. I mean, their last 3 games have been fine. They've been modest wins. Mark Richt, in his whole head coaching career, is 14-2 against Tech. So if anyone knows this triple option, it's Richt.
And then Miami, they got a good running attack. They 6.9 yards a carry. That Miami offense, they're going to run the ball against that. It's going to be a battle of the running attacks.
Yep. All right, Jeffrey's not here this week, but Jamal is, and you've got the picks.
I've got the picks this week. We got Miami over Georgia Tech, 5.5 points. I mean, it's pretty obvious. I like Miami.
Right.
We got LSU +7 over Auburn, and then Texas A&M +3 over Florida. I like all of those.
I like you, Jamal Schechter.
I like all of them.
You like LSU at home?
Jamal Schechter.
I do.
Well, like all the home teams.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, let me ask you this while we have just a second. The home team, the home field advantage in college versus pros, is there a difference? Is there more home field advantage in colleges? Because you're on the campus, all of that.
Are we talking in the South?
Oh, yeah.
Because it's different when it's in the South.
I think the pros home field advantage is bigger. I think you playing the pros because NFL players just play better at home. They sleep at night. I just think on the road for college it's harder, but I think at home in the pros, I always believe the home team has a chance in the NFL. Always.
Right. I agree with that. But you know, the thing is, especially in college, there are rabid and exciting fans. But you know, like Chuck said,
bigger for the fans maybe than the players in some ways. Yeah. The fans are the thing in college football particularly. We'll be back with more on Football's Play to Win.
The 2017 Nissan Rogue with available automatic emergency braking that could help stop for you. And motion-activated liftgate. You still got some tricks left in you. Take on today the Nissan Rogue family. Lease today, starting at just $159 per month, or save up to $10,760 on select models.
As an athlete, you know winning doesn't come easy. When you get injured, it's no different. It's hard work coming back, but you accept the challenge. At GMC Sports Medicine, we've built one of the top programs in the nation with the most sports medicine fellowship-trained doctors and the largest team of certified athletic trainers in Georgia, managing 42,000 athletes. Getting you back to peak performance is our challenge, and it's game on.
We've owned a few different houses through the years. Your company was absolutely the best. They were so professional. Everything they did, they didn't get a mark on a wall or anything else. It was clean, it was friendly, and it was fun. And most of the time, moving is not fun. I'm going to give a great recommendation to Atlanta Peach Movers. It's always on time and it's always professional. There is no tree in Atlanta Peach Movers.
To schedule your move, call Atlanta Peach Movers today.
At Longhorn, step into wood, stone, steak. Don't prepare a meal for yourself. Prepare yourself for a meal. Feast on one of Longhorn's steakhouse cuts, 12-ounce New York strip, center-cut Flo's filet, for a limited time, 14-ounce Delmonico. The feeling, the flavor, the place. Longhorn Steakhouse. You can't fake steak.
Today's Atlanta Falcons Report is brought to you by Ford F-150, the official truck of the NFL.
Time for the Ford Falcons Report. We're going to talk about some offensive struggles, according to you, Nikki.
That's rude. Sarkisian's doing fine. Give him a minute. He's got the biggest shoes to fill the NFL has ever seen. He's creative. He's using guys in different scenarios. I mean, in order to step outside of the box and try different things, you're going to fall on your face a few times. I think they're going to get in their rhythm. They're going to figure it out. I'm not worried about it, and I'm not saying they're having no offensive struggles, but they're there. But let's just give it a minute.
Well, one of the things that's happening is the defenses are starting to catch up to the Falcons' offense.
Well, definitely. And when we say in catch up in football terms is they got a lot of film on the Falcons. They got time to watch and study those guys and see the combination that they've been successful with. And the Falcons have been going back to the well on some older plays that we saw early on. So teams have caught up defensively, and they just study harder, but they still have to compete with those great receivers and now a new set of great receivers.
And the Falcons' defense, not really built as a big defense, but built for speed.
Well, you're right, and built for speed means they got to get to the ball, and they got to create more turnovers. Turnovers are a mindset. You have to go looking to create turnovers. You got to run to the ball, and that's a mindset that the Falcons defense has to get, because the team that creates the most turnovers in the National Football League traditionally makes the playoffs and goes far. Teams that give up the ball more are teams that usually don't go far when it comes to the playoffs. The Falcons have to do better with creating turnovers.
Speaking of that, the year we went to the Super Bowl, we led the league in turnovers, correct?
Yeah.
We did. I'm going to jump back to the Falcons offense and agree with you. You really are a Falcons cheerleader still, Nikki. But the fact is, no, I think it's fantastic, and I agree with you. I think it's just going to take a little bit of time. It's a new offensive coordinator. The offense hasn't been consistent in the fact that when we start rolling in certain situations, there have been unfortunate turnovers. But if you go back to Detroit, a talented team that people were looking at, they did score 30 points despite having 3 turnovers. That's an impressive performance on the road. Didn't love what I saw a couple weeks ago, but I think they'll be fine against Miami.
Kind of all former Falcons here. Yeah. Players, cheerleader, broadcaster. It's a Falcons thing. Speaking of Falcons, one of the guys who's a big Falcons fan, reports on it all the time from 680 The Fan, is Matt Chernoff.
All right, Bob, thank you very much. So how do we sum up the Falcons after 4 weeks? We know the record's 3-1, so that looks good, but it's been an uneven Falcon team, to say the least. A year after getting to a Super Bowl, you come in with high expectations. And what we've seen so far is an offense that's not quite up to last year's numbers, but a defense that's seen a big jump. So what will we see moving forward? I think you're going to see a young defense continue to get better. Vic Beasley comes back healthy. That will improve as we move along. I think the biggest jump you're going to see in the second quarter of the season is from Steve Sarkisian's offense. We got spoiled a year ago. Scoring 34 a game, yeah, that wasn't going to be what was going to be 2017, but I think you're going to see an offense that finds the end zone more. I think you're going to see a defense that turns it over and gives the Falcon offense short fields. That's been the one element missing from this Falcon defense, is giving the offense a chance to have 30 and 40-yard fields, and maybe even the defense getting in the end zone. It was an uneven first quarter. I think you're going to see a better quarter for the Falcons moving ahead. That's what I think, Bob. How about you?
All right, really important what you think, Matt Chernoff from 680 The Fan.
Good stuff.
He's a student of the game, that Matt is. And Jamal, it's time to take a look at what your picks are. You're going to talk about Jeffrey's picks, actually.
Yes, actually,
Jamal's
Jeffrey's
going to deal with them.
Jeffrey's got the Falcons. The Falcons are favored by 11.5 points.
That's a lot.
Quite frankly, anytime there's a double-digit favorite in the NFL, I get nervous. But Jeffrey's got the Falcons and taking 11.5, and
they're going to cover. I think the Falcons are going to cover with a big number.
Yeah, which would be outstanding. And again, health. Vic Beasley coming back. Julio Jones and those guys had time to rest up. Sanu, these guys are on the practice field or missing 1 or 2 days. But we should have everybody back.
Yeah, and the alumni are all going to be performing at the game.
We cannot wait.
Including Nikki
will
be there.
We've got our alumni cheerleader halftime performance, which if that doesn't lift your spirits, Falcons, I just don't know what will.
We will be there, and the focus will be on you. Is that one of the moves? Show me that move again.
They're probably going to hide me in the
Show me that move again. As we go out, let's see that move again.
You want to roll and
there
swim?
She goes.
Roll.
Okay, there you go.
We'll this is like back in y'all's day, 70s.
Oh, there you go.
Cheer for Old Play to Win.
We are the blood, sweat, and tears of fierce ambition. We are fueled by the impossible, an inner drive that can't be contained. We are the Georgia Bulldogs. So shout, go Dogs, and let the game begin. Here's to building champions. Now get $10,800 in total savings on the 2017 F-150. See your local Ford dealer today.
You never know when the moment will strike, and when it does, you want to be ready. Mellow Mushroom's craft pizza, beer, and cocktails can help you enjoy a more satisfying eating experience. Mellow Mushroom is safe for daily use. If you find yourself sitting in a Mellow Mushroom for more than 4 hours, you may want to go home and come back another day. Mellow Mushroom is not for everyone. Just kidding, it is. Ask your doctor about Mellow Mushroom. He may want to come with you.
Who do you trust to change your oil? I'm consumer investigator Dale Cardwell. This is really my car, and Haviland Express Lube is who I truly trust. They're professional, priced to beat the competition, and really, really fast.
Hey football fans, don't take chances by driving with worn out wiper blades. Pull into Haviland Express Loop Monday through Thursday, mention football's play to win, and get a free pair of wiper blades with the purchase of an oil change.
To see our real research and find the location nearest you, visit trustdale.com/Haviland.
They're here.
Give us the gold!
Kevin, you heard the man.
Make your getaway. Win up to $100,000 over 300 times a day playing Keno.
Today's player injury and medical report is being brought to you by the Orlando Law Firm. Put a former insurance lawyer in your corner.
All right, it's time to go inside the injury situations. You're talking ankles today.
Yeah, we've been having an epidemic of severe proportions of ankle injuries. Just the Giants alone suffered 4 ankle injuries in 1 game. So let's get started. So let's start talking about Matt Stafford. Again, a grade 1 ankle injury and a grade 1 hamstring injury in the same game. Played all of week 5. This is a minor ankle injury, so he will remain at low injury risk and peak health. Sterling Shepard is one of these guys on the Giants, 1 out of 4, grade 2 ankle injury. He's had 2 previous grade 2 ankle injuries in the past. He will remain at elevated injury risk and below average. Devontae Parker, again, a grade 2 ankle injury. And he's had 1 in the past, and he's had multiple foot injuries in the past. So he will remain at elevated injury risk and below average. And finally, we're going to end with Travis Kelce, had a concussion, went back into the game, and then he actually experienced symptoms at halftime and then was taken out, which could have significantly hurt him, and that's why he's at high injury risk and below average.
Okay, and you have a guest today.
Yeah, we always have a guest, yeah. So let's talk a little bit about J.J. Watt's injury, because that's, he's the primetime guy, and, it's pretty severe injury.
Absolutely. I mean, everyone knows that he pretty much sustained what they call a tibial plateau fracture. I want to thank my staff, Alexis Sherrod, for giving me this today. But what a tibial plateau fracture is this. This is your tibia bone, and basically what happens is he's actually fractured this bone when he came down. So the femur, the top bone, comes down, hits this, and causes it to crack.
Right.
Very, very serious injury. Could be not only a season-ending injury, but can also be a career-ending injury. So
right, and the analytics on turf, right? Say this is more common on turf versus grass, right?
Absolutely, because you have that kind of that standstill where you can't really move and it doesn't give.
Right, and our analytics show that the more back injuries a player has, especially a lower back, they have a higher incidence of knee and ankle injuries, and pretty significant ones, like Dr. Rhea said.
Absolutely.
I'm amazed that there aren't more.
Right, exactly.
It's incredible. The human body is pretty strong.
It is, and as the game increases in speed, size, and strength, we're going to see a lot more of these injuries.
Right, and real quickly, concussion, Travis Kelce, right?
Absolutely. So sort of kind of going to see what he's doing. As you know, he came in, went out the first time, then came back, and was basically given a grade 2 concussion, which is pretty serious.
Right.
So he's going to need some time to really heal.
Right.
Okay, so that's thanks for bringing your show and tell here today.
Thank you.
That's very helpful. As we take a look at inside injuries, today's been on ankles. There will be a test, so I hope you were watching. Thanks to both of you. We'll be back in just a moment as we continue with football's Play to Win.
If you've been seriously injured in an accident, don't get blindsided by the insurance company. I'm Roger Orlando, and I built a winning team to run interference against the insurance companies and get your case across the goal line. Call me at 678 Law Firm.
The 2017 Nissan Rogue. with available automatic emergency braking that could help stop for you. And motion-activated liftgate. You still got some tricks left in you. Take on today the Nissan Rogue family. Lease today, starting at just $159 per month, or save up to $10,760 on select models.
Who do you trust to change your oil? I'm consumer investigator Dale Cardwell. This is really my car, and Haviland Express Loop is who I truly trust. They're professional, priced to beat the competition, and really, really fast.
Hey football fans, don't take chances by driving with worn-out wiper blades. Pull into Haviland Express Loop Monday through Thursday, mention football's play to win, and get a free pair of wiper blades with the purchase of an oil change.
To see our real research and find the location nearest you, visit trustdale.com/Haviland.
In football, as in the legal system, it helps to know your opponent. I'm Roger Orlando, and I used to work for the insurance companies. I've seen their playbook, and I know their game plan. If you've been hurt in an auto accident, call me at 678 Law Firm.
This is it. Hey, baby. I'm at This Is It. I did not feel like cooking, and you know how much I love their food. Guess what? The It's the Rib Tips man, he wrote a book, and it's a good one. Just as good as his food.
For more than 33 years, This Is It Barbecue and Seafood has served delicious meals cooked with love and history. Visit a location today.
Today's lightning round is brought to you by Longhorn Steakhouse, now featuring great American steak dinner. Longhorn Steakhouse, you can't fake steak.
All right, time for the lightning round. That means Jeffrey Schechter. Playing the role of Jeffrey this week is Jamal Anderson.
I'll be the edge with the dirty bird. Let's go to the picks. Indiana +7 over Michigan. I don't know about that, but But Michigan is a very, very talented team. We got Navy +3.5 over Memphis.
Memphis was a team that gave UCLA
a bunch of problems. And then we got Minnesota +4. Minnesota's coach got everybody rolling in. That's a TV job. And then we're jumping to the NFL here where we got Green Bay over Minnesota. I like that pick. Aaron Rodgers, how do you go against that? Minnesota's favorite, which is crazy. San Francisco a +10 over Washington. I don't know about that.
Double digit.
That's a spread pick. No question about that. And then the LA Rams +2.5 over Jacksonville. You know what's funny about that San Francisco-Washington game?
What?
Washington's quarterback may be in San Francisco next year.
Good point.
There you go. Just a little insight here from Jamal. By the way, a couple of weeks ago, kind of an interesting time for you, Chuck Smith, with your predictions, a bold prediction.
What, Tennessee?
Yeah.
He went homer on us.
He did. He did. What?
Hey, I'm going to take my Champions for Life trophy, and, we'll get ready for next year. I'm still a VFL, though. Ball for life. Even when they
I
get
haven't
stopped.
seen that orange in a little while.
It'll be back.
Showed up looking like a traffic cone beginning all this.
Next year.
I've seen it.
Once you're VFL, you just got to hang with it. Good
I
or
don't know
bad,
anything
right?
about that, Bob. I'm a Ute. And we play USC on national TV this weekend. We're going to win.
Yeah, that's why you lost last week to Stanford. B-Love's in the house.
Stanford got crushed by USC.
We get good Stanford love here from Bob Whitfield. I hope you enjoyed the show today. Jamal, thanks for being with us.
Always a pleasure.
That's football's play to win.
Today's show has been brought to you by Longhorn Steakhouse, Nissan, and the Orlando Law Firm.